Have you ever dreamt of a better version of yourself? Younger, more beautiful, more perfect. This quote is the one that introduces us to the movie The Substance. Hi, my name is Sara Medina Ramirez, and I'm here to talk about my review about The Substance. So, let's begin. Before talking about the movie itself, I'm going to put you in a little bit of context. The director of the film is Coraline Forget, who said The Substance came after the idea of exploring deeply about what she felt of being a woman, how her relationship with society was. The movie coincided with the moment she was about to be 50 years old, arguing that her life was about to be over. No one was going to remember her. And the question here is, how did she get to feel that way? And her answer was very simple. There are no representation of women in movies or in announcements at that age. So she decided to do something about that. That's how the idea of The Substance came out. Imagine you're a young actress and you have a lot of potential to put on your career and to show it to the world. But youth doesn't stay forever. One day you'll grow up and you will age. And in most of the cases, cinema productions are only looking for young actresses, forgetting about the legend you used to be. This is what The Substance is about. The movie has this scene of a Hollywood star, and we see how the star is built quickly, referring to how fame can come suddenly. The protagonist is enjoyed for a brief period of time, but after fame, decline comes, and people start to forget you. They pass through the star as if you don't matter anymore. From this introduction, the audience can see how our protagonist, Elizabeth Sparkle, is an artist whose career is getting lower attention with the passing of time. It is important to keep in mind this movie aims for disgusting shots in order to reinforce the idea we live in a consumer society, and we can see more of these shots mainly on the producer of the network. Even the uncomfortable close-ups of him eating are repulsive. During this scene, he tells Elizabeth in an appropriate way she's fired because she's old. Ironically, he fires her from being old when both characters are about the same age. So here we can understand the main problem in society, how beauty is pressed on women. And what happens to Elizabeth? Now she feels judged and with the pressure of keeping relevant. The solution appears, The Substance. The duplication process is very uncomfortable to watch, joined with darker shots. From her back, a better version emerges. Sue, younger, beautiful, and perfect. And there are some scenes we can see the relation between old and young versions. In some shots, her old version is quite separated from her best era, while her young versions fit into the frame of her old photo, showing how comfortable she feels now in her young version. Sue decides to go to the production Elizabeth used to work for decades, hired her immediately for being absolutely perfect. As the cast member said,
"Looks like everything sure is in the right place this time."
With this phrase, we can also analyze the representation of men in the film. Ridiculous, in order to show how constantly they criticize women's bodies. They are always demanding for perfection, and when there is no perfection anymore, they consider women are discarded, only because they don't fit with those beauty standards. The thing in the movie is Elizabeth and Sue are one. 1 week Elizabeth lives and 1 week Sue lives. This rule should be followed at any circumstance. The balance needs to be respected. As the movie advances, we see how she only feels alive when she is in her younger version. She prolongs the time spent while she destroys her old body. And when she tries to live her older version, she feels insecure. There is a scene where Elizabeth is getting ready for a date, but she's comparing herself with Sue. She's constantly changing her makeup, even the reflection of the dark knob symbolizes the self-image society created for women to look perfect. And what happens? She feels so insecure that she doesn't go to her date, distancing her from the only one who truly loved her. After this, Sue decides to exploit Elizabeth's body to continue living longer. As Elizabeth is the matrix, Elizabeth can decide to put an end to the experience, but she doesn't want to because she thinks about the admiration and popularity Sue has, and she still wants that. And if she could only get that from her young version, she would take that risk. The pressure leads her to inject herself, deforming her completely more and more. The horrifying end shown in the movie represents what the social pressure and obsession with appearance can do to people. Forget said that the movie was also a way of exploring with visual and sound excess. Even she drew how she wanted the scenes to be edited and how to frame each shot. Those decisions are visible in the precise details of every scene in the movie. Many techniques were used, such as helmet cameras and handheld cameras. From the start, Forget knew she needed all these prototypes physically made because, as the movie was about female bodies, it was much easier to manipulate those prototypes manually. Even because of the grotesque sequence of the movie, I do recommend it because it shows a reality in Hollywood. How age can become a factor of discarding a celebrity only because of how she looks. For me, it was incredible how you can create your own reality and tools by manipulating a camera with your own hands, and how physical prototypes can transmit much better the message of the movie rather by the excessive use of CGI compared to other movies, for example. The effects presented made body horror believable and symbolic, making the audience to experience fascination and disgusting, allowing the main message of the movie to get transmitted. And this is my review about The Substance. Thank you for watching this video.